Hey, so I thought you guys would find this interesting. As soon as I uploaded the last video about the lefties that were scared of guns, this is the sequel, okay? Because I actually got a complaint from Lyft saying that they wrote me up for making derogatory comments. Now, they didn't let me know what the comments were. They just said, you know, we had to notify you. I'm okay. It didn't count against me because I have an excellent record. They weren't able to, like, you know, get me in trouble in any way. But Lyft just had to notify me, like, that's what happened. So, you know, I made a counter complaint. I was like, look, you know, they were being obnoxious. You know, one of the dudes, I didn't even write this in the report, but one of the dudes, because I forgot, but one of the dudes came back and he was like leaning on my car as I'm trying to drive away and trying to like talk to me about guns. And I was like, dude, like, get off my car. Like, I have another ride. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was way nicer about it than I needed to be. But I realized, you know, I was younger. I would get drunk and silly like that. It was obnoxious, but I didn't like, you know, I didn't take it personally. I was just like, whatever. But I guess they feel they needed to write me up because they were wrong. Or they feel like, I don't know what was going through their head, that they think that they were gonna like teach me about guns. We're gonna make stuff up about her. It said that she was mean to us. That's gonna teach her to talk about like trying to protect yourself. Like, what the hell were they thinking? You know? I felt sad for them. Now I'm just like, they're horrible people. They're monsters. This is the shit that makes people walk away. Okay? This is why lots of people that were once Democrats and that, you know, were on the left are now not leftists anymore because of passive aggressive little like evil bratty ass demons like this. This is the shit that makes people walk away. This is, you know, I hope these assholes, on whatever or all of them, come across this video that I'm doing on my off time, and I hope they read the comments of all the people that are dogging them, so they maybe, you know, feel embarrassed or remorse if they have any, you know, remorse or feelings left. You know, they claim to virtue signal and that they care about people, but they don't. You know, what if I had a family, and what if they really were able to do damage just because they were mad that I disagreed with them, that I didn't, you know, get in on their circle jerk and agree with them like everybody else does. Like, they're just not used to having somebody disagree with them. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't call them out their name. You know, I didn't use profanity. All I did was ask questions because I just couldn't believe that they would rather die than defend themselves, because it was just the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. Maybe the worst thing that I said, which wasn't even bad, what I did say, you know, I really can't like take you seriously when I'm driving you to your safe neighborhoods with your gated communities and you want to talk about, you know, people shouldn't get guns or shouldn't be able to protect themselves. Like, get out of here. Like, seriously, you know, who are you? You guys have no footing in reality. But as I'm talking about this and as I receive that message, I'm also watching this Netflix series called Celia, which is about Celia Cruz, who was a mega famous Cuban singer in Cuba during the 1950s and 60s. And it's about 80 episodes. So the first 30 episodes, I'm about like in the 35, are pretty light. They're pretty good. I mean, the acting's excellent. It's shot pretty much like a film. It's technically a telenovela, but it's shot really well. The acting is excellent. The characters are written great. Like, I love everybody. I love good ensemble pieces. They're very, you know, it's a very good show. It's very engaging. And it's very, you know, it's musical and singing and dancing and stuff. And I'm a sucker for singing and dancing. So, yeah, like, so the first episodes are pretty light. But now the Barbudos are coming in, which is like basically the SJWs, okay, the revolutionaries that are taking over Cuba. And it's hell. And I start thinking about that situation with the kids in Lyft, and I start thinking about the Barbudos. And it's interesting because some of the people in Cuba at the time, I guess, were for the revolutionaries, right? Like, the poor people, they're like, yeah, you know, we're finally going to be, you know, have equality. But, you know, they're also just taking people's hard-earned stuff away from them. Like Celia, the main character, and her family, like, saved and, you know, built this house from the ground up. And now she's a singer and she's rich, but she's worked her butt off to be there. And she's supporting her family because her dad left her, left the family. And they're just taking her house from her because they don't feel like she deserves it because she's not poor. So everything has to be equal. Everything has to be divided amongst the people. They basically are telling her that, she has to get out of her house and share it with people. They're kicking rich people that have worked their asses off for their fortunes just off of their property and basically be like, yeah, you need to share this with like the homeless people on the street and other people. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I haven't, I'm just going by the TV show, and I've heard things here and there from people. I don't know the whole story. I'm reading about it. I'm learning about it. But if this is what happened, this is crazy, dude. It's SJW hell. And it just makes me so sad for those people. It makes me kind of sad for some of the revolutionaries too. I still have compassion for some of those assholes. Just because... I'm thinking about these kids, and these kids, like, they have this, utopic mindset, which is not based in reality. So in the end, it's going to, like, destroy them. It's going to destroy them. Whether they're going to go crazy because, they're brainwashed and they're not going to be able to deal with reality when it hits them. It's like that, if you ever got, I know I have this link somewhere. It's Yuri Bezmenov. It's, he was a KGB agent that worked for Russia, or he was Russian, and he escaped to Canada. But he basically talked about how he would brainwash people, and he would be part of mass brainwashing operations to brainwash people into these kinds of thinking. And then he felt remorse. And then he also, when he started to feel remorse and understand what he was doing, they would betrayed him, so he had to flee. But he says this thing which is very profound. He's basically like, these people are so far gone that they'll never believe you until their boot is on their neck, and then they'll believe you, or the boots are on their neck, and when they're in the concentration camp or the education camp, then they'll believe you. When they turn on them, then they'll believe it, right? They'll believe how wrong they were. But until then, there's just no getting through to them. And, I've excerpts from Stolichn's book, and that I haven't read the whole thing. I haven't, but I've just kind of, anyway, but, from what I understand, people turn their own family members in, their own loved ones in, because they believed in these ideas so much. They were so brainwashed that, that they betrayed people that they loved. So, I mean, I think these kids will probably do the same thing. They're like that far gone. And now I'm watching this show, and one of the main characters, or one of the characters, actually joined the Barbudos, and he believes in the cause. But now, they're starting to turn on him, and it's just really sad, because it's like this evil that comes. It's like I know I talk about demonic possession, maybe because I was Christian Catholic. I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I grew up Catholic, and that was kind of, demonic possession was like always on my mind, being Catholic, because they're really into that. Anyway, but I kind of look at things like that. I see it's like this evil that takes over. It comes in the form of good, right? It's kind of like that whole vampire tale, or the legend of the vampire, that you can't let, the vampire can't overcome you or come into your house until you accept it, right? You have to invite it in. So it's not going to come in the form, this form of evil is not going to come in the form of a vampire. It's going to come in the form of something good. So you'll be accepting of this ideal, and let this ideal in, and embrace this ideal. And then once you become like engulfed and possessed with it, then, you become evil, because you start trying to push everybody's ideal, or your ideal, on everybody else. And this is why communism and this utopian idea of like the SJW doesn't work, is because people have to come to the realizations on their own, right? You have to give people the freedom to do and make their own sovereign decisions, as opposed to pushing their ideas on you. And there are people in this TV show that are resisting the revolution. They're being told like what they can and can't say on the radio. The artists are being told what songs they are, they can and can't perform. And there are people that are standing up, and they're like, oh yeah, if you don't believe in the revolution, we're going to beat you. And they take them to a basement and beat you and stuff. And just like they're chastising you like a parent chastises their kid, but in a more like, brutal way. They're basically you know, chastising you until they tell you, you know, until you believe the revolution, or you are for the revolution. And if you don't agree with them, then, you know, they kill you, or they kick you out the country, or, you know, torture you. It's crazy. So I keep looking at this and I'm just like, my heart's beating, because I'm thinking about, you know, what's going on in this country, and how we're kind of on the verge of this with all the censorship that's going on. We're kind of on the verge. We are on the verge of this, with the censorship going on, with this invasion that's taking, you know, place at the border, with people like that have that mindset, right? That Antifa, conservative Mexican. I was watching his video the other day, and he went down to Mexico. Antifa was there. Why is Antifa in Mexico telling these people they can't stay? And the Tijuana people are like, no, man, we already have enough problems. And Antifa people are like, no, you have the right to migrate. Hell no, you know? So, I mean, we always talk about fascism and Nazism and how that was a scourge on humanity, but it's really, I mean, it was that too. And if you think about it, it still kind of comes down to the same thing about pushing your ideals on people that don't, you know, believe in what you believe in. And now the same thing is with this communist social justice warrior mindset. You know, it's pure evil. It's pure evil. Anyway, I just want to say that. But you should check out Celia if you guys are sick of mainstream Hollywood and you want to, oh no, I'm cooking. Should I, okay, hold on. I don't, how, okay. No! And I'm back. Okay. So, but yeah, you should check out Celia if you guys, Celia, if you guys don't mind reading subtitles, or if you can speak Spanish, that's good. If you want to see something, if you're tired of these crazy ass Hollywood celebrities that, you know, are trying to run their life when they're detached from reality, and you still want some entertainment, but you don't want to support them, support something else, you know. We don't need Hollywood to be entertained. There are lots of movies outside of Hollywood, you know, and not necessarily also foreign film, but there are, you know, indie films and other things you can do besides support these assholes. So anyway, that's all I want to say. I'm okay. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm actually gonna get another job soon, so I won't have to be driving these jerks around for much longer. And for the most part, I would say 90% of the people I do drive around, I do have a great experience with. I just tell you guys the SJW stories because I thought, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with this channel. It's entertaining. But I will also say that a lot of the people I do drive around, if we stay away from politics, it's usually cool. I think if I talked about like politics every single trip, then it would be hell on earth. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm okay. I hope those assholes see this video. I'm very grateful to be in America. And I think, you know, we will be victorious because a lot of people are waking up to this crazy reality that these monsters, these SJW monsters, these demons from hell are trying to push on us. So anyway, guys, all right, that's all. That's my wrap for today. Peace, truth, and love. Bye-bye.